Dragon Ball fans waited nearly 30 years for this to finally happen, and in general, the Dragon Ball Super franchise as of late is kind of cray because a lot of insanity is going down between the battle of Bardock and Gas, finding out more about the history of Goku's family, and in general, just a lot of big things going down. It's kind of crazy to say that 30 years later nearly, holy cow, things is actually happening that fans have been waiting for, especially OG fans of Dragon Ball, for a long time. And yeah, we gotta talk about it.
No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done.
By the way, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell for all notifications so you get notified whenever we drop another one of these, because we talk about all sorts of different anime and manga constantly. So yeah. So last few months, the Dragon Ball fandom in general has been going crazy, going nuts over everything that's been going down with the Dragon Ball Super manga, with the latest chapters of the series, 82, 83. It's been kind of wild seeing more of Bardock, one of the big things that they know over there, whether it be Toei Animation, whether it be Namco Bandai, whether it be Shonen Jump, anything, V-Jump, whoever it is, they all know that Bardock, Broly, and select figures in the Dragon Ball, I guess you would say Rogues Gallery, but just in general, a lot of characters in Dragon Ball, when you bring them into the fold, they blow things up. And since they brought in Bardock, the sales have been up, the popularity has been up, it's trending constantly. Dragon Ball is constantly trending because of, hey, you got one of the big mascots that people love in here. Just like when they brought Future Trunks into Dragon Ball, it was like, holy cow, yo, dog, one of the fan favorites is here, what's going on? So it's very interesting to see that Dragon Ball Super with select characters can go from like, it's alright, to holy cow, this arc is crazy. And off rip, one of the biggest things, again, Bardock versus Gas has been instrumental in keeping people's attention, but also there's something off the rip that I gotta say that fans are going crazy about, debating back and forth, and that's the controversy surrounding Bardock's wish to the dragon regarding his sons Son Goku and Raditz. That was one of the big things that with the latest chapter as of the recording of this video, 83 of Dragon Ball Super, fans were like, wait a minute, so what type of horse manure is this right now? Because y'all know, most of y'all know that in terms of thriving, I don't think a big blast through the chest to both of his children at the start of Z, where Goku is like, what, in his 20s at that particular point, that doesn't necessarily scream thriving, nor does Raditz being shot to the chest and dying and never being revived after that mean being thriving as well. And there's where some fans came in and was like, yo dog, nah, that's not cool, because the translations that some fans came up with is that basically he said he hopes that his sons grow up to be strong, or something along the lines of that. It was basically, hey, I hope my kids get to at the very least grow up. It wasn't anything of like, I hope they thrive, because again, thriving and Raditz just kind of don't go hand in hand at all. But at the same time, that also impacts something that goes all the way to the very beginning of this series in terms of, hey, almost 30 years. There's a lot of things now that I think about it that in this video we're going to be uncovering that. Almost 30 freaking years, and we're getting massive changes to the Dragon Ball story in terms of essentially everything that happened in the beginning with this retcon, I guess you would argue, was due to Bardock's wish. If you really think about it, the dragon essentially making and granting this wish ultimately changed the course of history, and that's probably why Goku became a good person. You know, that quote-unquote accident where Grandpa Gohan was holding him and he fell down and bumped his head and he changed from a wild kid to all of a sudden a good kid? Yeah, that actually was thanks to Bardock's wish. But again, it just kind of is like, wow, so Raditz thrived up until a certain point, but yeah, you know, he grew up to be strong or whatnot. It's just a little wacky, and I'm not even gonna lie, it's straight up a retcon. Hands down, Dragon Ball has retconned something from like 30 freaking years ago, the very beginning of Dragon Ball, or you could argue maybe a little bit less, because it was Z where we found out the truth about Goku being from planet Vegeta and the Saiyan and his brother Raditz and Vegeta and, you know, just all of these things. It wasn't until Z, but still, nevertheless, this is so freaking long in the making that you put in now all of a sudden, oh, all of that happened? Yeah, it was actually because of a wish that Bardock made, even though, you know, Bardock the father of Goku, which has been completely retconned now, never had any of that. In fact, a lot of things that has recently happened in Dragon Ball really make me question certain things, like when he gets his tail ripped off in chapter 83, Bardock, I'm like, what? Like, so I know in Dragon Ball, like, there's times where your tail can grow back fairly quickly, like Goku's tail would come back and whatnot, so I know that that's not out of the question, but it was just kind of like bizarre, because yeah, again, everything that you knew about Dragon Ball and Bardock in terms of from back in the day with the Bardock the Father Goku TV special, you kind of got to throw that out the window at this point. Like, even one of the biggest things that for, again, almost 30 years, Dragon Ball fans have been waiting for actually happened, but again, it retcons and kind of excludes the validity of the Dragon Ball, TV special Bardock the Father Goku, because Goku finally, after all of this time, knows the truth about his parents thanks to that memory that was put into him. Again, I want to say that was chapter 82, regarding what happened with Gene and Bardock and the end times of Planet Vegeta and them saying, to live on and whatnot. And that is kind of insane because, we waited all these years. Will Goku ever see Bardock? It was for the most part written off like, yeah, that's never going to happen. And ultimately it did. And where does that go with Goku? Does that change Goku at all? Or do we continue this linear characterization and character quote unquote development that really isn't just like his martial arts develop? Sure, his hair colors develop, in terms of as a character, does that do anything? Does that change it? Does that make Goku say or be interested more in his Saiyan heritage? I think that this could be a huge foundation for Goku's character moving forward. Why not make him more interested in his Saiyan heritage? Because now he saw his mother and his father and he realizes that they were good people and they just fell on bad times. Right there, this is where you make Goku go a whole different direction and maybe, build on, instead of constantly going into this Ultra Instinct thing, which, they've kind of already done to death. How about we put that to the side a little bit and make Goku's character go more into the whole primal thing of like what Super Saiyan 4 of, truly being a Saiyan. That would be very interesting to see Goku having Saiyan pride and maybe Vegeta be more so like, I'm an Earthling now. Again, if that's the whole premise of Dragon Ball Super, the development of those two characters going in opposite directions, that ultimately is a point that we do have to cross, of Goku being, I'm a Saiyan, I'm proud, and Vegeta being like, yeah, I'm a Saiyan, I'm proud, but I'm an Earthling too, I gotta point that out. And I guess the biggest WTF moment of this entire situation with Bardock, his battle with Gas, and everything that's going on in the Dragon Ball Super manga right now is, well, it's been hyped up about Bardock beating Gas, and the way he beat him was very strategic, or they made it sound like it was something that Bardock either unlocked a new transformation, or it was just something out of this world. And for the most part, what I gathered based on the chapter and how he defeated him, it didn't seem like he went into like a Omen Ultra Instinct form, the UI transformation. It didn't seem like he went there. It more so just seemed like he got a Zenkai boost based on being kind of like a little bit healed up after constantly going at it against Gas. So is that the lesson of we need more Zenkai boosts, even though it was like, I don't know how many arcs ago now that they said they can't Zenkai boost really anymore? So that was something that kind of feels a little bit WTF of like, okay, so what was the whole lesson and why we needed to see this so that we can in the current day take out Gas because Bardock was able to do it in the past? What was the lesson here? Like his hair turned a little shiny and he was able to kick butt because he wanted to? So I'll leave that question to you guys and we'll end that here. I'm ForneverWorld. As always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life. Bye. Peace in. And yeah, yo, what's going on here right now with this whole thing? 30 freaking years. Things is changing. Reveals is happening. Dragon Ball Super doing some big things. It's just going to be interesting to see how the fans feel about it when it's all said and done. And I'm looking forward to that. Have an awesome one. Oh, you should totally like, subscribe.
You